Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get into the December reading for the sign of Libra. Alright, we're going to get right into doing your traditional Celtic cross spread. And then we're going to pull clarifiers to see if we can get a little deeper into the message. Now, this is going to be for December, and it's going to be primarily in the area of love. However, if there's other areas in your life that are impacting the ability for love to come in or for you to hold on to love, then that's going to come out as well. So we just have to read whatever the cards tell us, okay? So this may or may not resonate with you. And you can go ahead and check out the other readings for your sign. They're all in the description at the top, the weeklies and the other monthlies. And then I'll be starting on the new moon readings today as well. So, all right, Libra, let's get right into your December reading. Temperance, covered with the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Okay, here we go. Eight of Wands at the top. Two of Wands, Page of Wands, and you come out with a Five of Swords. Coming into the month with a Queen of Cups and the Star. You have Strength card and you have Four of Wands. Wow, okay. All right, bottom of the deck, you've got a Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles is, of course, the seven is the number for dreams and aspirations. And with Seven of Pentacles, we talk about a period in our lives where we're really kind of reevaluating the rewards or the fruit of our labor, right? Our garden is starting to bloom. We're starting to get reward coming in and financial sort of, I guess, achievements coming in. Specific achievements are coming in, though, right? And you're able to see if it was worth it. And a lot of times, yes, you have more coming in, but you are evaluating it to see if you need to readjust, if it's enough. Are you truly still happy with what's coming in? Because you've been working on it for quite some time. All right, and it's only now that you're beginning to see the fruit of your labor. All right, Libra, you come in with some strong energy. Right away, I see you have a lot of major arcana. You've got Queen of Cups, strong Queen, and Strength, Star, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune. Really strong major arcana cards. You come into the month with Temperance energy and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, Temperance energy is, of course, associated with Sagittarius. And Temperance is when we are sort of the leader of... Temperance is the 14 in the major arcana, right? It's the leader of ourselves. If we look at the first four, we see Aries, Emperor, who is the leader of men, right? He is the emperor of men sort of on earth, of those around him. He is an authority figure over others. But with Temperance, we see that sort of like stability and leadership in terms of our own control, right? The control that we have of ourselves internally. Temperance is when you're not reacting to people, right? People can't, it's not that you're not being receptive, right? But you're strong enough to not allow what other people are saying or doing to make you react in a way that you would regret later, or in a way that is sort of against who you are, right? Every step that you take with Temperance energy is very intentional. And that's why she's always like, she has these two cups and she's constantly pouring water between the two cups because she's constantly weighing up her feelings to make sure that whatever she says is not meant to be sort of negative anyway, because she's reacting to somebody else's negativity or somebody else's sort of, you have to excuse the background noise. That's my cat running around the house. But Temperance, this is, she's always very, very cautious and intentional and careful that because this is fire energy, right? You have the alchemical symbol for fire there. So that her forward push in life, the steps that she takes and the way she carries herself and acts and behaves, right, communicates, is always in line with her true heart chakra in a positive way. She doesn't like lash out because of pettiness. She doesn't lash out because somebody has said something to her now. So now she just reacts before she even thinks, right? This is what temperance is about. And it's also feeling that too. So you're not easily like upset by other people's negativity because you also feel that control in your heart. And this is a really good energy to have right now when a lot is happening, because I see right ahead you have a lot going on this month. And the Wheel of Fortune is what covers you. So there's a lot of opportunities coming in this month. And if we're talking about a love reading, you have a lot of suitors coming in this month. You have, let's put it to you this way. You have a lot of opportunities for finding a love connection, right? Because I do believe that this is for a Libra who is not involved with anyone right now, right? Because you end the month with a 4 of Wands, but right now you're kind of coming to the month with a fairly solitary energy if we're talking about a love reading, right? And so your energy, your conscious energy, and your unconscious energy. So we have an 8 of Wands and a 2 of Wands. 8 is the number for boundaries and borders. It is associated with the Strength card, which is the 8 in the major arcana, strong Leo energy. But it's associated with a period of time in your life. We have a lot of people coming into you. A lot of people are like just invading your space. You've got a lot of messages coming in. A lot of people are sort of like wanting a piece of you, as it were, right? Everybody wants to put their 2 cents into your situation. It could be that you have family or friends that are kind of getting at you, you know, or you could be dealing with somebody who's constantly shifting their moods. They may be sending you a lot of mixed messages, and so you're constantly having to sort of dodge all of these weird feelings that are coming in, right? And so with 8, we talk about the need to be setting boundaries so that you can focus and so that you can weed out all the bullshit, right? And so this is a case of saying, look, everybody back off, right? Now, sometimes this can indicate other things depending on the reading. This can indicate having a lot of incoming sort of media attention, but it can also indicate having a lot of sort of online attention. Somebody may be emailing you a lot or kind of contacting you a lot. It's just, but it's because it's an 8 card, which is about setting boundaries and borders to make sure you maintain your strength and position of strength, right? And not allowing people to sort of take your strength by just coming into you. You're going to, you're going to have to deal with this situation. You come into this month with this feeling. It's quite strange. I almost feel like for some of you Libras, it's like this might be family pressure for you to get married or to date or to like, this is some kind of pressure that's coming into you, right? And especially if you are a single Libra, it just feels like you need to say, like I said, you need to say to whoever this is doing this to you, whether it's one person or a group of people like your family or some of your friends, you need to say, look, this is, you have to back off, right? Because I see ahead that 8 strength plays strongly in your reading anyway, so we already can see that this is an issue, right, with regard to your love life, right? In the back of your mind, you have a 2 of Wands, and it's interesting because it's like while you're getting all of this happening in that you're having to focus on, that's really day to day in your face. In the back of your mind, you are desiring to move forward. 2 of Wands is Mars in Aries energy. So this is a desire to move forward towards a love connection with someone, right? Because 2 of Wands talks about wanting to move on the path and get at it, right? So you do want to get out there. You do want to make this connection. But I think you're almost in a lot of ways, you're feeling like you're having to deal with a lot of pressures from other people. You know what I mean? And so this is kind of really excited. This is why you're resonating with temperance energy very strongly, okay? Because you're having to temper between a lot of this that's coming in and also keeping your center, because you know that behind the scenes, sorry, my cat's crying. Behind the scenes, You know, you do have a very definite plan about how you want to move forward, but it's your plan. It's not necessarily their plan. And again, this is another reason why I feel this might be family or close friends, because you're being so tempered with the individuals who are kind of really giving you a lot of pressure right now. You know, beginning of the month, you have an opportunity, right? For a possible sort of connection, right? Page of Wands talks about overcoming fear, stepping out in the world. I think this month you take your step out, right? Two of Wands is wanting to go out and having a plan. And so Page of Wands is the action of that. It's like practically doing that. Remember, pages are always associated with earth, and so the material world. And so when we see Page of Wands, we have sort of the earthy aspect of fire. And so this is like you in a very practical day-to-day way going after your dreams, you know, going out for a date, you know, going, you know, for a coffee, actually doing, you know what I mean, taking an actual step out on your plan into the world, coming up with solutions to, you know, any kind of problem in your material world that may be hampering, you know, your path, right? So you're gonna start coming up with solutions to that, creative solutions to that. Maybe if you have to step your coin up so that you can go on a date or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the case may be, this is going to be a very practical way to you sort of going after your dream, right? Which is your wands, your passion, which is your desire to have a relationship. But then you round you round the month off with the Five of Swords, and five is a power struggle. Fives are all associated with power struggles, external or internal. And this is a power struggle with someone who just doesn't play fairly. And it's quite interesting that this comes into you. Once again, there is someone in your life who's like, they're in competition with you, right? They're in competition with you. They're almost in like a battle with you to win something, but they really just don't play very fairly at all, you know? And this could be, again, one individual out of this, or it could be the same individual. I keep feeling this is a group of people, right? But if it's one person, it could be like a friend, or it could be an ex who's not leaving you alone. You know, some of you may have an ex here who just won't leave you alone, right? And you're still kind of playing fairly with them and being temperate with them, but you want to move forward and you take steps to move forward this month and start dating and stuff. But somehow they come back, because now with this Five of Swords, this is a very specific battle that you have with somebody, a power struggle that you have with somebody that involves a lot of sort of bickering and arguing and really lashing out at each other. It's a swords card, so you're really sort of, it's a real struggle, right? They may even plan spiteful shit, you know. But the thing is, with Five of Swords, you kind of throw your hands up and you say, listen, you win, because you really don't want to get yourself down to their level. This is a very petty way of engaging, Five of Swords. It's a very toxic way of engaging. And so it's quite interesting. Once I feel the energy of Five of Swords, I feel almost like this could indeed be an ex, right? Who is, and if it is an ex, or if it is someone that you are now having this kind of interaction with, and we're talking about a love reading, right? So it's somebody that's in your sort of love life area, then they're really stepping over their bounds, and they're really kind of being, I would almost say, a little bit obsessive, you know? And you definitely have to put your sort of boundary up, you know, and say, listen, and you have to enforce it. Say, listen, this is the line. You can't be, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm not going to accept it, you know, stop calling. I'm not going to accept your calls. You know what I mean? You have to really be like, look, you know, or, you know, if you need space or whatever the case may be, right? Because this is really a sap of your energy, even though you're resonating with temperance. Now, you come into the month with this Queen of Cups, and you're met with star energy, and that's quite interesting, because you do come into the month with this attitude, again, of really wanting to share a cup of love with somebody. So you are indeed ready to have a relationship, with someone. I hope to God this is not the person you want in your life, because this would be a case of settling for a very toxic energy. You know, I hope that this is just an ex that you're having to deal with, and if that's the case, you really need to deal with them and get them out of your life, because you do come into the month with this very strong desire to have your cup of love exchange with somebody and to give your heart over to someone. Queen of Cups is very transparent about her feelings, but she really desires to express those deep, deep feelings with someone, to have an exchange of love with someone, and to share herself with someone, right? And that's a kind of sense of giving herself over. Just as the King of Cups goes out and desires to hunt for his queen, right? He's the one who goes after what he wants. The Queen of Cups is just desiring really to communicate her heart to someone. She's the watery aspect of water. She can be very sensitive, very emotional, right? But in any case, you come into this month very open and receptive, you know, very sort of like willing, right, to be with someone on a very healthy level. She's also very healthy because she is, we always say with the Queen of Cups, so below as above. You know, her deeper feelings are very transparent in the way she behaves. And so she's a very sort of, and her deeper feelings are healthy, right? She generally is very healthy because she knows who she is. So you get you know what I mean? You don't get sort of tricks or underhandedness or weird toxic behavior that, you know, is associated with being false and wearing a veil, right? And so in this way, she's very genuine also with her feelings, right? And so this is how you come into it, and you're met with star energy. You really get your wish this month. I think you really work towards it. I really hope to say that for a lot of you, I'm going to say a star comes into you because I don't believe that the star will come in if this was somebody that you still wanted to be with, because the universe doesn't give you toxic people. You choose toxic people, if you know what I mean, right? And so, you know, when toxic people come into your life, this is not the consequence of something like star energy, because star energy is when you are manifesting your dreams in a healthy way, right? Your dreams are connected to your emotions, and you have you've already sort of, you know, made a lot of sort of intentional steps to getting the dreams for your life. Do you see what I'm saying? And when we're intentional about something like that, nobody dreams for a toxic relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when we're met with star energy, and that energy also comes in, we get our wish because we've been so intentional. We don't get wishes, right? The universe doesn't pay us back in kind for wishes for negativity or toxic energy. So in this way, I want to say that this is an ex or someone that you don't want. And if you want your dream to come true for a true love connection, which I see up here, because this is actually a reading for someone who gets their love connection, Libra, it's going to necessitate you going fully through with this Five of Swords, which is ending the argument, walking away, because here you can see that they walk away in disgust. This is the card for defeat generally. A lot of people associate Five of Swords with defeat, but it's not really defeat. It's sort of defeat in the face of resonating higher. You really take the high ground, right? And some people consider the high ground defeat, you know, when they're coming from a low resonating place that's just kind of like base and not, you know, there's no value there. They're just wanting to win for hollow reasons, like this person who cheats and backstabs and does whatever they can, you know, to try to win over you, right? So you throw they throw their hands up in disgust and they say, look, I'd rather not battle with you than to engage in this kind of petty sort of dynamic, right? And so for a lot of you, what ends up happening is that, you know, as a result of taking that really sort of intentional step towards your future and towards really getting rid of this toxic energy, you come into the month doubling down on this receptivity, and your star energy comes in a sense that you get your wish because you hopes and dreams and your fears and your outcome is strength and Four of Wands. And so you hope to be strong, and I think this is your desire, to be strong, to radiate the ability to put boundaries in place for your better self so that you can be proud of who you are rather than, losing your self-esteem and self-confidence. You know, the thing that happens when we don't put boundaries in place and we don't sort of protect our energy, right? And our energy is our strength. This is why this is associated with strength. What ends up happening is that we succumb to sort of lower resonating energies like jealousy and pride, guilt, envy. When we allow when we allow two people to come into us too strongly with their energy, that is already a toxic way of behavior, right? Somebody who's constantly sucking you dry, right? And so you can guarantee that along with that kind of dynamic, you begin to have your self-esteem chipped away because your energy is chipped away. You're around toxic energy. You begin to feel toxic yourself simply because you're around it. And then you start to have feelings of anger and resentment. And there is the role, then you're on the slope to just sort of losing all your strength, right? You lose your strength in that way. You resonate lower. And you become weak because being prideful and jealous and envy makes us weak, ultimately, because it makes us succumb to the manipulations of others. And this is where temperance comes in. Temperance is, is a resonating up also of that ability to sort of not succumb to lower sort of urges, right? And this is what we see with the sort of taming of the lion. The lion succumbs to a higher strength, right? The lion says, yeah, my pride makes us weak. Let me succumb to a higher path. And this all begins also with discipline, and it begins with setting boundaries and making sure that these type of energies that come into us are not allowed to come into us. And when you do this, right, this month very strongly, because this is a strong major arcana card for you, Libra, you come out with your dream. Somewhere along the line, and I believe this, when you move out here, this is going to be a really good aspect. This is really where it begins, because this Page of Wands, when you start to take this real sort of intentional step to go out this month and to sort of socialize or to do whatever it is you need to practically do to go out and take advantage of this wheel that's turning. Because don't forget, the wheel is turning for you this month. So the opportunity is there for you to have this love connection. But all you have to do is be intentional and take the opportunities that are coming, right? And you're doing that. A lot of you are really resonating up for December. You're having the blessing of wisdom coming in. And strength. I've been saying that a lot of us for December will be having blessings coming in because a lot of the energies this month are also conducive to it, and because a lot of us have been working towards it, and it's just like this kind of like convergence that's happening, right? And the blessings are coming in a lot of forms. Some of the blessings are coming in the form of wisdom and understanding and strength, and that blessing is allowing you to open up and change certain situations about yourself so that your dreams come in, and then that's another blessing. This is very much a chain effect type of thing that happens, because blessings don't just come in of their own free will, like their own sort of, they don't just fall in your lap like a lottery ticket. Of course, that can happen, but when we're talking about a blessing that is like a spiritual blessing in some way, or a blessing that is given by the universe, it generally comes after a lot of hard work, right? And it comes because you've made the right steps, right? A lot of us have made the right steps in these last weeks and months to fix certain toxic areas of our lives, and you've done that, Libra. And if you maintain this attitude, see how beautiful this comes out of Four of Wands. You meet somebody, this Wheel of Fortune absolutely leads to this possible stable, happy relationship with somebody. But it definitely involves you having to take care of really sort of stopping this behavior up here. All right, we're going to pull your clarifiers out. Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, wow. Eight of Pentacles, another 8, and the Ace of Wands, wow. And at the bottom of the deck, you have 6 of Cups. So you desire pleasure, right? You desire pleasure and happiness. It's coming in for you. 6 of Cups is coming in. I think for some of you, you may have been single for a while. You may not have actually physically been around anyone or dated for a while, because you were dealing with this individual, or this may be a very recent ex, right? But this 10 of Cups comes in and just lets you know that, and you have a 9 of Cups here, which is also happy, you know, a wish fulfillment and happiness. But 10 of Cups is like full sort of everything, you know, everything comes together. And again, this is all about if you are, you know, if you are sort of setting your boundaries here with this 8 of Wands and, you know, and being a little bit restrictive, you know, letting them know, you know, to back off. And so this is what makes room for this 10 of Cups coming in. Again, this is all about the opportunity for a 10 of Cups to resonate up. You have 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups. These are all high resonating love connection cards. This could also be, I feel for some of you, I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel like this is a good toxic energy unless this individual, if you're dealing with somebody who's changed as a result of you finally putting your foot down. Now, this could also be a reconciliation in the sense that for some of you, if you have finally put your foot down with this person, right, they may have actually learned their lesson and said, okay. And they may have pulled back, but, you know, that wouldn't happen that quickly. You know what I mean? You're already getting too much in your face this sort of December period, right? So I feel it's very strongly a case of it's a test, because 8 of Wands is always about you really having to be disciplined in a particular area, you know. And this discipline and this setting, enforcing your boundaries in this area is the only way you're going to make room, I believe, for this sort of connection. Because again, another 8 stands in the way between your dreams and this result. So you really do have to go through this kind of testing period. Now, in the back of your mind, you do have a desire. You do feel blessed right now. You're feeling very happy. You resonate up in the sense that you are very confident. 9 of Cups feels like a real blessing. For some of you, I think you do come out of this. This may be this feeling of coming out of this connection, this past toxic connection with this person, who, by the way, they do come back towards the end of the month and try it with you again, and this is why this has come up. But you do feel quite happy that you've made the decision to move on and that you've been able to sort of like, you know, that you've been able to put your foot down. It could be that for a long time you weren't able to do that, right? And you feel really, this has again been happening for a lot of the readings. A lot of my collective are able now to achieve certain things like this, that it's taken them a long time to achieve, you know, because they were in a relationship that was toxic, and it takes a long time to get the strength to come out of a toxic relationship sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And so, but you do feel really confident, and you have a desire, again, a wish fulfillment. Happiness does talk about that. 9 of Cups talks about that. You have blessings, but you wish to have that deeper connection that takes you to a 10 of Cups. So you desire it, and here you put your foot down so that you have room for it. And here we have 8 of Pentacles, and 8 of Pentacles is another sort of restrictive card. With 8 of Pentacles, we're finding ourselves being very prudent. And so here we're talking about, for some of you, you have indeed been working very hard to save your coin and to raise up your abundance so that you can go out and start dating, or go out and see someone, or go out and be practical about finding a lover and taking advantage of the opportunities that are happening right now. It could very well be that certain parties that are happening now that you're going to, you want to go and look really nice, and so you've been working really hard, because 8 of Pentacles talks about being very disciplined at work, right? Going to work every day, mastering a craft, but it can also be I feel here when we're talking about love, it's a discipline at working to make sure you have the right amount of money so you look good and you can, you know what I mean? You can feel good when you're out on a scene or when you're out on a date or what have you, or where you're beginning to sort of see someone, right? Because this is how this very much feels, definitely with this Page of Wands. And then you come out of this month, again, this person, again, it just feels like, because this energy is all so nice and conducive to someone going out and starting to really date again and get over a lot of their fears and meet someone. You know, it's like their star comes in, your dreams come true. But this Five of Swords really feels like somebody just keeps coming back like a pain in the ass. You know, that's why I feel this energy has got to be some kind of ex or somebody who just is always trying to like engage you. And especially at a time when they see you're happy. You know, because this is why, you know, like, why would this kind of power struggle come in at the end of the month when you're resonating up with this beautiful Wheel of Fortune? You've been exhibiting, temperance energy yourself. You've been doing, you know, the work. You've been desiring strength, fearing it too, but desiring it and working towards it with that Four of Wands. But this person won't leave you alone. And you have an Ace of Wands. And Ace of Wands talks about a whole new relationship, right? And a whole new way of dealing with things. And I think you let them know, right? Because again, you've thrown your hands up. And when they come in, it's almost like you say, listen, I got somebody else. And before, you may have never had anybody else, right? Before, you may have not been able to say that because you didn't go out and start dating. And so when they came back with their bullshit, like, it was like you engaged a little bit perhaps with them. But the one thing you need to say to this person is that, look, I don't even care anymore because I got somebody else. And that's the type of statement that this person is going to go crazy. Like, they're going to be stunned. Because the whole thing with this kind of toxic energy is the engagement. You know, they want to engage you. You know, they're very narcissistic in that way. But only a narcissist will put up with a narcissist because they like the attention. You know, who will put up with that, right? Unless you were that type of person yourself. And so you walk away from that. And usually when they're, and I think this is probably an ongoing thing, that has been going on at least for a little while because they have at least come back once. Or perhaps they never went away. You never put your foot down. But I don't think this is going to come in for you unless you put your foot down here. But in any case, it's like when you do finally tell them, look, Ace of Wands can indicate a new relationship. You have definitely Four of Wands coming in. That's the beginning of relationship. Four of Wands is Venus and Aries energy. So it is the coming together and beginning of a new relationship, right? But that comes together very strongly and very quickly, and you feel like you've run into your soulmate. So it's not going to be this person. And this Ace of Wands really lets me know that you're going to tell them that, and that's going to be sort of the torch that finally gets rid of them, if you know what I mean. And they're out of your lives. You're finally done with them. All right, guys, this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, Libra. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this reading. If you want to get a private booking, just go ahead and look at that, check that link at the top of your screen, and you can see what type of readings I do. The private readings are via live stream online, a private live stream for you where you see this is just basically all for you, and then we chat on Skype or whatever during the reading, okay? But for right now, guys, just go ahead and leave me a comment below. And look out for the new moon readings, which are starting to come up today, later on today. I'm going to start doing those because, of course, tomorrow is the new moon in Sagittarius. So, but for right now, Libra, have a wonderful, wonderful December period, which really promises to bring in a beautiful new love. Bye-bye now.